Says live.
Hi, we are live. My name's Lucy and I am a co-founder of Social Day, the social media forum for SMEs. And I'm joined here today with Daniel Knowlton, one of the world's best digital marketing experts and Social Day speaker, Summit Social Media Conference Ireland speaker and global digital marketing influencer.
All right.
I'm just trying to get the point across how amazing you are.
Oh, thank you. You're too kind.
Do you want to add anything to that?
No, not really. I think you did a really good job there, Lucy.
Thank you so much. So today, Dan and I are going to talk about influencer marketing. I'm going to ask Dan a few questions and hopefully you guys will have some questions to ask as well in the comments. So anything you write in the live comments box at the side, we will show on screen. And we've got Desi's here already. And her question, she hasn't got a question. She just says, Daniel.
Desi.
How are you doing? Good to see you. So I think there's a little bit of delay on the comments, isn't there? So let's start then, Dan. Dan,
cool.
What is influencer marketing?
Influencer marketing is really all about utilizing someone else's influence and audience to help you achieve whatever you want to achieve. So in a business sense, it's used to help you increase your brand awareness, get more sales, get more leads, build relationships with new audiences. It's just a way of I know you spoke to Vince Clancy before, it's like growth hacking someone else's audience. So it's utilizing that trust that they've gained with a group of people to help you do whatever you want to do. That's pretty much it. Is that a good explanation?
Yeah, I think so. Because I think different people view influencer marketing in different ways, don't they? Like, so for example, if you're looking for if you're a big corporate, or if you was a business to business company, or if you're a consumer, you sell to consumers, it's going to be different, isn't it? The approach to influencer marketing. Is it just give someone money to share a picture of your product or something, or is it a little bit more than that?
Yeah, good question. So it kind of breaks up into two kind of areas, Lucy. The one you're talking about is where this is where bigger organizations use it, and they will literally pay an influential person to do some kind of campaign. And to be honest, personally, I haven't had much experience with that. I haven't hired a really expensive influencer and used them for any kind of campaigns. But that's one end of the spectrum. And there's in Social Day London, there's Harry Hugo coming along on the panel with us guys, and he runs an influencer marketing agency, and that's kind of the stuff they focus on. So they work with like Apple, MTV, lots of big companies. So that's one end of the spectrum. In terms of me, my expertise comes in understanding how to use influencer marketing as a small business for yourself. So, and this is what I'm going to be speaking about at Birmingham, Lucy, is how do you become more influential to help grow your business? How can you be the influencer? How can you grow your influence to your audience to help you achieve what you want to achieve? And this is for small businesses because they don't need to invest a huge amount of money. They just need to invest time and understand how to do it properly. And that's what I'm going to be sharing in Birmingham, step-by-step tactics that people can use to build up their own influence. Because that's how we've built our agency. That's like what we do.
Oh, wow. So amazing. You're almost going to flip it on its head and say, rather than doing influencer marketing by reaching out to influencers, why don't you bring the influence into your own business, become an influencer in your own right, build your own community, just like Daniel Knowlton has done basically a year and a half or something.
Exactly, yeah. And it works. To just give you a background of our business, so we run a digital marketing agency, and the whole way we built this agency is through, yes, Craig. Hello, Craig.
How are you doing?
The whole way we've built our agency is through my brother and I working together to build my personal brand, to help create brand awareness around us and help build my influence to gain clients and customers. That's what we've done. So in terms of my expertise, it's building up my own influence as a small business. We started out a year and a half ago. No one knew us. And now we've got a successful business built and on the back of me building up my influence with my brother, who's been so helpful. Like the thing about Lloyd, who you're gonna meet at Social Day, is he's so much cool stuff, but he's not the one in the front in the limelight. It's me. So I feel really bad sometimes. Like people say, "Oh, that was such a good video, Dan. That was such a good this," and Lloyd's done it. Like Lloyd's done it. So please, if you're watching this, understand that Lloyd's doing loads of great stuff too. I'm just.
I understand that. I've just got to give a shout out to Stuart, because people always say to me, "Oh wow, I love those animated videos that you're doing and all that stuff you're doing in Social Day." And it's like, okay, it wasn't actually me that did it, but I'll let Stuart know.
Yeah, we're the same, Lucy. We're the same. Craig just said he should come to Social Day Birmingham as a comment, and I think you should, Craig. You should definitely come.
Hey, Craig. Yeah, just come, Craig. Come along. You're invited.
I liked my own comment.
Be on the panel.
Cool.
Right, so tell me then a little bit more about what strategies you've used then, because it'll be really interesting to know what kind of strategies you've used then to build up your influence. And has it been through particular channels like Twitter, for example, or Instagram? What are you finding has worked well for you? And then I'm going to ask you another question about how you think it's changing. So I'll ask you that question first.
Cool. Sure. So there's loads of stuff we're doing. So I'm kind of just going to start talking and sharing stuff, but do cut me off a bit, Lucy, because I'll just go forever. But there's 10 tactics. There's 10 tactics that we've executed. And the first key crucial thing to become influential in whatever it is you do, you need to understand and know your craft. You need to actually be good at what you do. Okay. And that sounds like a really stupid, simple thing that everyone should know. But there's so many people out there that are, before they are actually getting good at something, they're trying to go out there and just say they're the best in the world, when really the one thing you need to do is actually get in the trenches and start doing and executing the strategies which you're trying to help other people achieve. Or if you're like a small business, like a hairdresser, before going out there saying, "I'm the best hairdresser in the world," actually do more hairdressing and get really good at it and share that journey with your customers. So that's the first real thing, Lucy. Get good at what your craft is, whatever it is. And that's what I did.
Is that what you did? So you suggest that people, if they haven't got the experience then, that they just do things for free, or how do they go about it?
It's a difficult question. But what I did, I'll share what I did. I pretty much built up my own, because it was in social media marketing. I kept reading loads of content, learning how to do it. And I was doing it on myself, on my own personal brand, learning, executing, measuring, and then constantly improving. So before I was actually selling a service, I was already practicing the tactics on my own business. So it's not like I was going out there saying, "I can train you, I can do this," and I didn't know what I was doing, because I'd already done all that on myself. So I guess trying to apply that to other people, if you're looking to start up your own business and you want to become influential yourself, I'd try and think about using your spare time and keep your current job and practice in your spare time. And then once you've actually got good at it to a certain level, then go out and start offering it as a service.
Okay, that sounds good. Tell me more about how you did it.
Did what?
How you became a top digital influencer.
So that's one thing. Knowing your craft, that's so important. Second thing is to share your most valuable knowledge for free. To share your most valuable knowledge for free. One thing still today, small businesses, big businesses are so scared of doing is giving away stuff that they could be paid for, right? Yeah. And I had this challenge at the start. I've been so lucky with my dad. He's been a big inspiration to me. He's a traditional businessman and he's been like a mentor to me. He's so great and he's helped me so much. But at the start, when I was reading all about Gary Vaynerchuk, Chris Ducker, who's speaking at Social Day, and all these other people who are sharing all their knowledge and information for free, he was my dad was saying to me, "You can't give that away for free. People can charge for that. You've got to put a course together and charge for it." And I was like, "No, Dad, no. You need to give it away for free to show that you know your stuff." Yeah. And then people won't always pay you, but as a percentage of those people see what you're doing, be interested, and want to work with you. And that's what's happened with us.
Brilliant. And so
yes, Cass, sorry, I've just seen Cass's comment. I've just got a comment on that. He said, "The secret is to give without expecting anything in return." That's it. The secret is to give without intention. Yes, I completely agree with that, Cass. I so agree with that. One other thing, I'm just going off a tangent, Lucy. Bear with me 1 second.
Go for it then, go.
One other thing, right, Cass is so right, is you've got to be authentic and you've got to be genuine. If you're going out there, giving nuggets away for free just because you instantly want stuff in return, it's not going to work. Like me and Lloyd and I spend a lot of time answering emails, helping like people who contact us on LinkedIn for their dissertation. We do all this stuff and spend so much time. We don't get an instant return, but because we do that, that opens opportunities in the future. And we don't do it because we want stuff back. We do it because we want to help people, and it's just the right thing to do. Where's my love, Cass?
I did. He said he loved you first.
Oh, good. Yes, Cass.
We love you, Cass.
I'm looking forward to meeting you at Social Day Birmingham. It's going to be really good.
It's going to be amazing. So, yeah, I think there'll be a lot of old school people that are going, oh, my God, yeah, I can't share that information. How can I do that? If I share that information, you know, no one's going to buy from me. Also, I do see a lot of people who share content and then at the end they go, thanks for reading, buy my course. And it's a little bit ugh.
Do you know what? Like, when I started out, I thought that the structure, like I've made that mistake, not buy my course, but like had a call to action at the end. I thought that when you write a blog, this was me 2 years ago, I thought that when I write a blog, I need a call to action at the end to get them to contact me for training, right? And I was doing that. I was like doing that in our articles, my first articles. And like, I soon learned, exactly like you said, Lucy, people aren't warmed up enough to suddenly want to buy your course or contact you. You need to nurture that relationship over time. You need to build a community. Just like you, Lucy, have built such a great community with Social Day, other people need to think, how can they build a community where they're giving out value, giving out loads of stuff for free without expecting anything in return, like Cass said.
So where do you go next then, once you've
Yeah, good point. So another tactic is, this is one of the things that I'd say this is the first thing that properly built up my influence and got me out there to other influential people to help me build up my thing, which is hopefully this will provide value for other people. The thing was to write for a big publication, okay? To write for a big publication. So I managed to start writing for Social Media Examiner.
That's a big one. That's the big one, isn't it? If you are social media, that is the biggest one in the world. So if people don't know what that is, like it is the trade magazine, I guess, for social media, but also helps small businesses as well. Yeah. Yep. It's the big one.
It's the big, yeah. It is.
So that's amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, but it wasn't easy. It's not like you just say, "I want to write for Social Media Examiner." Boom, it's done. I wrote like so many blogs and stuff on our own blog, loads and loads of blogs. I worked really, really hard and eventually managed to write for them. It took like a year and a half. So it wasn't just like you can suddenly do it. You need to get good at writing. And that took me a long time to do that. So in terms of, if you're a small business watching this, you should be thinking about what are the big publications in your industry? Are you in finance? Is there like a really big finance publication? So think about that, and then come up with a strategy as to how you can write for that publication. And that's the kind of thing I'm going to be sharing at Social Day Birmingham. I'm going to be sharing the steps, like the step-by-step approach I use to write for Social Media Examiner, so that it can be applied for smaller businesses in their industry.
Wow, I'm really looking forward to that, because I think it's going to be really, really good content. It's going to be really helpful for people. So you reach out to publications when you feel like you've got the proof that you can actually write, and you show them that you're able to do it. And then what next? You become an influencer, and then everyone wants to work with you.
No, it's not that easy, Lucy. It's not that easy.
What's next then?
So another thing you need to do, and this is really relevant to Social Day as well, is to speak at events.
All right.
Is to speak at events. This is one of the key things that I did, which helped really kind of advance my influence, was to get out there in front of a crowd and share my knowledge and expertise. So a couple of quick tips, Lucy. I started out really small. No, you don't need tips. I mean, other people. I started out really small. I do.
I'm learning something. I learn every single time I talk to any of you guys.
Good. I learn from you too, so it's a two-way thing. So the one tip, start small. Start with your local chamber of commerce, right? That's where I started. I joined the local chamber of commerce. I spoke to the person in the chamber of commerce. I went to these small after-hours events, and I said, "Look, can you please give me a speaking slot? I want to share how to use Twitter," and it was something like that. And I went to the first. Yeah, I went to the first one, and I was so scared. And then I just kept at it, kept trying, got bigger events, and kept speaking and kept practicing and got better. Built relationships with event organizers like you. That's another good tip. Build relationships with event organizers. and just get feedback, keep getting better, and it helps you get in front of audiences. And don't sell to an audience. Never sell to an audience, in my opinion. It just puts people off.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's why at Social Day we ask people the speakers, to keep it valuable and don't get up on stage and then start selling stuff at the end or telling people to download your course, because I think it almost turns the room sour a little bit, because they're thinking, oh yeah, this is wonderful. And at the end, if you try and sell something, it's like the article, isn't it? If you write that article and you're helping someone, you go, actually, this article wasn't really free because now I want something from you. Yeah. And then it's kind of like, oh, I don't know, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. So what you've done is you've gone out and started working the speaker scene. So are you saying that every small business should go and work the speaker scene? Won't then everybody just be a speaker and nobody's going to be special? No,
you're exactly right, Lucy. One thing, like a big piece of advice, right? I'm giving all these different tactics out. A big piece of advice is you need to work to your own skills and your own abilities. So if you are the most shy person ever and you really don't think that you can, Lloyd, no, not sell. My brother just commented. No, you don't sell. No, you need to really understand, what are you good at? What skills do you have? If you are really, you feel that you could grow into a confident person on stage, then think of speaking at events. If you are the most shy person and you never, ever, ever want to ever speak on a stage, that is completely fine. You may have really good writing skills. You may want to write for big publications. You may have really good speaking skills behind the computer. You may want to create a podcast and start sharing your knowledge and expertise there. You may be good on camera, in front of the camera. You may want videos. Like, it's about understanding what skills you have and then utilizing that to start sharing your best knowledge for free on whatever channel suits you. But also one thing, Lucy, one more thing, is push yourself outside of your comfort zone. I didn't think I'd be good at speaking or confident at speaking. Thanks, Yanis. Yanis is a great guy. If anyone's into sport or nutrition, go and follow Yanis. He's got some great meal plans and stuff. There's your little plug, Yanis.
He's selling now.
No, I'm not selling. He's a great guy. He's a really cool guy.
I'm kidding.
And yeah, so really understand, push yourself outside of your comfort zone. If you think, oh, I'm too scared to do that, push yourself outside of your comfort zone, because if you don't, you'll just be average. You'll literally just be average.
Sure.
And you get that, Lucy. Like, you push yourself outside of your comfort zone as well. I know you do.
I try my best. So you're saying that, actually, what about say you've got an organisation and you've got staff, but you don't want to be the kind of person who becomes the influencer. Could you, if you had someone who's really good at social media and, being in front of the camera and speaking, would you then choose somebody in your organisation to become your, like a salesperson, for example, to become your front of house kind of person it's called a key person of influences or something like that?
Yeah. You're exactly right. This is something I spoke about. Yeah, this is something I spoke about at Social Summit Ireland, is to look at the skills of your team, to truly understand the skills of your team. I bet there's a ton of businesses that have like a sick, really, really good photographer in their business and they don't even know it. Yeah. They haven't even asked them, and they could be creating really cool shots for Instagram. I bet they've got people who are good at video. I bet they've got people who are good at speaking, but they don't actually ask them and find out about them. So invest time in understanding the skills of your employees, just like you said, Lucy. And then there could be someone there that you can use as the influential person. I completely agree. Well, that sounds like a really good idea, actually, if there's other people in your business that can do those things. And there might be some seriously talented people that can actually do a job that they really enjoy doing as well. Which Exactly. I completely agree. Then, so if you're becoming this person who is quite influential, and then the sales just roll in. Not quite, right? There's some more stuff. Another big thing. This whole thing, marketing, business, sales, is all about relationships, right? You know that, Lucy. Everyone knows that. So influencer marketing is also about relationships. Building up your own influence is also about relationships. You will not become influential in a good way if no one likes you and no one wants to be friends with you. So one of the best ways to build relationships is to go to live events. This is something that in the last year, I've really upped my game in terms of finding live events I want to go to and going to them. First of all, they're well fun. I've been to so many events, like Snap happened last year with Craig, if he's still here. That was his event. That was so good. Social Day, obviously, Social Summit Ireland. There's loads of great events. First of all, it's really fun. Secondly, it's a great place to actually build relationships with people. Like when you go to them, there's nothing stronger than actually having conversations with people and getting to know people face to face rather than just on social.
Yeah.
Because you know, like, you can only go so far on social, really. You could be engaging with someone for years, but until you actually meet them face to face. And it's a great place to meet influencers and influential people. And this is another strategy to build up your influence in your business and your industry, is to build relationships with other influential people in your industry. That's another really key tactic that I've used and other people use. Yeah, in real life. Yeah, exactly, in real life.
So I've got an interesting question then. I know, before we go on to the next thing, have you ever met somebody? So have you ever known someone online that's an influencer and thought, oh, you're an amazing person, you're an influencer, and I'm like getting in with you and stuff, and then met them in real life and been really disappointed?
I'm not going to say that anyway. You're trying to make me look bad, Lucy.
I'm just trying to get the juicy gossip, try and make it more interesting.
Do you know what? I definitely have. The funny thing is that when people are online, they can actually be very, very different. Yeah. Hi, Charlie. Charlie's coming to Social Day.
Who's Charlie?
Hey,
Michaela. Hey, Michaela. Hey, Charlie. Ha ha ha. Sorry.
Hey. Yeah, when people are online, they can be very different to when they are face to face, just like you said, Lucy. So it is, sometimes you do meet like speakers, influential people, or even just people you've met online, and they're very, very different. So it's good to just kind of just take that in your stride and just kind of go with it. That's what I tend to do. Just go with it.
So we could probably learn something from that. Hey, Becky, how are you doing? And just be ourselves, I guess, or as a how you would in real life online. And
I completely agree. That's another point. Like, one of the things in terms of speaking, if any of you guys watching are looking at becoming a speaker or getting into speaking, one of the biggest piece of advice I can possibly give any of you is you've got to learn to just be yourself on stage. When I started out, I turned into a robot. I turned into a weird person on stage. I got all sweaty and scared. But when you just chat to the audience, like they're your friends, this is what I do now. And I put myself in a mind frame where I'm just with my friends, having a conversation, sharing strategies I've had success with. It just makes you appear so much more natural, and it just makes you feel better in yourself. Don't you think, Lucy?
I think so, yeah. I really agree with you, Dan. I think that's amazing. So you're just like having a conversation with people throughout, basically, and being the same on all of the different social networks. Right. So, Dan, what's next? What's the next thing? Wait, let's just quickly say hi to Michaela. Hi to Becky.
Michaela.
Hi to Lee. Hi to Charlie. Hi,
Lee.
Oh, let's have a look. Enjoyed listening to Dan at Social Summit Island.
Oh, thanks, Lee.
That was amazing. Michaela, loved meeting Katya and definitely got to meet Lucy. Well, Michaela, Social Day Birmingham, 27th of next.
You should come.
Next Thursday. Definitely come. Becky. Hi, Becky. I'm good to see you. Anyway, carry on. Sorry, Dan. Cool. I just want to make sure that we don't. Last time I missed.
Sorry. I just get carried away. We need to concentrate on the people who are here. Say hello if you haven't yet. Say hello if you haven't.
Hear what you've got to say, don't we?
Charlie's got to sort his hotel out. Charlie, sort your hotel out.
Oh, you come is he coming to Social Day Birmingham?
I think he's coming to Birmingham. Are you, Charlie? And London, maybe. I don't know.
Lock Hotels, we have a 15% discount for Social Day delegates, which is Social Day 15, something like that. Anyway, Dan, on to you.
Cool. A couple more things, Lucy, because I don't want to blab on too long. One of the things which I've learned over the last year, which is really, really important, and again, I spoke about it when I did a talk in Ireland, is documenting your journey, documenting what you're doing, telling your story as you're going through it, because people want to get to know you. People don't buy from logos, they buy from people. They want to get to know under your skin. This is why Snapchat was so popular when it first came out, and it still is really popular. This is why all of the social platforms are moving towards storytelling, because they know that people want to get under the skin. They want to see behind the scenes. They want to get to know you. So as a business, you need to be thinking, how are you documenting that journey? And there's just so many good platforms to do it on now. Snapchat, Facebook stories, Instagram stories, WhatsApp status. There's just loads. So as one tactic, which if you're watching this and you're not currently doing and you want to become more influential, you need to be documenting your journey, showing people what you're going through as a small business, to working with clients, to planning, to preparing, the lessons you've learned. People want to know that. So that's such an important thing that I think everybody should be doing.
Dan, I think that's really interesting, actually. And I actually, even though I do social media and things like that, I struggle with making sure that I'm updating. So the first thing is there's Snapchat, there's Instagram, there's Facebook Day, Facebook
Messenger Day, stories, yeah.
And apparently LinkedIn's going to do one and everything. So you get started and you think, oh my goodness. And then it's like, which one do I use? Because actually for example, I have different people on different social networks that I talk to. And I'm sure a lot of people do as well. It seems to be, lots of people are on different social networks and they're using as many as possible to try and build, whatever their influence and that kind of thing. Isn't that like hard work then to make sure that you're documenting a story every single day and, making, is the content boring? I'm going to a meeting. Is that interesting?
Cool. So, let me answer this in sections.
Right. Yeah.
Good question. That's such a good question. We actually recently wrote an article on this, and it was how to choose the right social network for your business. And it talked through lots of key points, but I'm just going to share with you. There's 3 core questions as a business, right, that you need to ask yourself if you're going to be using a platform, whether you should use a platform or not. Okay. First of all, this is the thing that every expert says, but it's so true, right? And it's, you need to ask whether your ideal customers, your target market, are on that network. Okay. So as an example, for me, Facebook stories has come out. Okay. Yeah. But I'd say 90% of my connections on Facebook are friends and mates. Yeah. I'm not going to be selling anything to them. They're not going to be clients. They're not going to want to hear about my business. So I don't use Facebook stories. No. On the other hand, I've spoken to Charlie before, who's been in the comments, and he said to me that 80% of his Facebook connections are business related. Yeah. So Facebook stories is a great tool for him because they're all business related. So that's the first question you need to really ask yourself. Are your ideal customers on that platform? Right? Second question you need to ask yourself is, what skills do you and your team have? Yeah, Charlie says, I use Facebook in a business sense. Yes, exactly. So Charlie uses his personal Facebook in a business sense because that's where his audience is, his business audience is, but I don't. And the second question you need to ask yourself is, what skills do you or your team have? Every individual social media platform requires a different set of skills, okay? So like Instagram, for example, it's, really great high quality photography. Do you have someone who's really good at photography on your team? That could be a good platform for them. Twitter is just like a cocktail party. It's where you can have a lot of conversations and get really chatty. Do you have someone in your team who's really good at chatting, having conversations and that kind of thing?
Hi, Janine. How are you doing?
Hey. So yeah, thanks for coming along, Janine. So that's the second question you need to ask yourself. What skills do your team have and how does that match up with the different platforms? Okay. Do you have someone really creative and arty? You could be using Snapchat and creating really cool arty effects, using the lenses, using their new AR technology. Think about the skills your team have. The final thing, so we've got are your ideal customers there, number one. Secondly, what skills do you and your team have and which platforms do they match up with? The final thing, and this sounds really fluffy, but it's not, and it's really important, is which platforms will you enjoy using more? Will you and your team enjoy using more, right? This is important because if you hate using Instagram and you detest it and you're making yourself every day, you're not going to be doing a good job on there. If you really have to make yourself do it, then you're not going to do a good job. You need to think about, what do you actually enjoy doing? And they're the 3 key things you need to think about when choosing a social network. But one final point, Lucy, I want to make. Hello, everyone. Hello, Marcus. Great to see you.
Hey, Gwen. Hey, Gwen. Great to see you.
So the one final thing I want to say, Lucy, you ask yourself those 3 questions, is that you need to, I just forgot what I was going to say.
Charlie says, comes back to being authentic again. You need to enjoy it and be authentic. Yeah.
Oh, that's it, Lucy. Sorry, it's come back to me. The one final thing I want to say is, I went to Social Summit Ireland and there was a couple of speakers that said, something which I didn't agree with, which was get on one platform and get really good at it. And like, if you can only have time to do that, just do that. And I really, really don't agree with that, just because you should never put yourselves in the fate of one platform. Snapchat could close down tomorrow. Instagram could close down tomorrow. Just like we've seen it with like Blab, Meerkat, Vine. So if you just put all your eggs in one basket and don't build bases across multiple channels, then you could put yourselves into a big risk. So I think you need to get good at least a couple, 2 to 3. If you've got time, then use more than that, but get good at a few different platforms, but also use native content on each. Don't just duplicate the same content across platforms, because people get annoyed. God, that was a big sentence.
Yeah, but it was really good. That's really, really good advice, actually. So you wouldn't say, because it's time consuming, right, creating this content. So say you create some really good story on Instagram about your day, okay? Would you then consider downloading that and putting it onto YouTube or putting it onto Facebook direct?
Okay.
Facebook Day, Messenger, or Instagram Stories? I'm trying to think, because it was Snapchat, wasn't it, that did this, stories, and then all of a sudden it was Instagram, and I roll my eyes because there's so many of them, and you know, we all have to an extent an audience on all of these platforms, but we can't surely create native content for every single one of these like story platforms. Does that make sense? Do we just upload our story once? You know, that's what I'm saying, really. Yeah,
I mean, it's a good question. I personally don't think it's a good idea to put a story on Snapchat and download it and put it on another story. I started doing this at some point and tested it, and I got messages of people saying, this is annoying because I've just watched it on Snapchat and now you're on Instagram. It's pointless me following you. I actually got messages from a couple of guys that I know really well.
Really?
And, you know, seriously. And it made me think, like, I'm not going to do that. People don't like that. So I think, honestly, you should create native content on each platform. However, Lucy, you are right. You only have a certain amount of time, right? You only have got a certain amount of time. So what I think is really important is to repurpose your content, just like you said. So there's different ways you can repurpose your content. So say, for example, you did a video, like we created a Snapchat story for Social Day, and we recorded the whole thing on Snapchat. That would last 24 hours, then it's gone. What we could do is we could actually create a more in-depth piece of content, like a blog, and we can embed that story in the blog as part of it, but we could also add photos, add videos, add GIFs, add text describing different. So it's about repurposing the same piece of content but giving it a different edge on the different platforms.
Okay, I see. And so would you do something like, for example, if you wanted to drive more people over to Snapchat because you prefer the experience on Snapchat and the way that you communicate with people, would you say something like in a story on Instagram or a story on Facebook?
Facebook stories,
Stories. It's not Facebook stories though, is it? But should we just call it?
There's Facebook stories and there's Messenger Day. I'm sure that's what they're called. Charlie will tell me. He's really clued up on
something like that. I thought it was called Facebook.
Oh, it's called that. Sorry, I know there's Messenger Day.
Yeah, there's Messenger Day, and then there's Facebook Direct. There's 2, isn't there?
Oh, okay. I thought Instagram Direct's just come out. Instagram Direct's the messaging, the Snapchat like messaging thing in Instagram. I read about that the other day.
So it was called Story. Oh, there's a messaging one as well.
Yeah, there's Messenger Day on Facebook Messenger. Oh. It's just confusing. It's weird.
So on Facebook, there's Messenger Day, in your messages box, like this.
Yeah.
The message one. And then on Facebook, there's another one here.
Another one.
As well.
I called it Facebook Stories, but maybe it's called something different.
Direct. Well, let's just call them all stories. It'll be easier, won't it? Yeah. So if you prefer the experience, for example, on Snapchat, and you think people should join you over there, do you then share something on there to say, my story is on Snapchat, go look at my story on Snapchat? Or do you just kind of not, do you think that's a little bit like, oh, I'm, you know, when you get a direct message on Twitter saying, now go follow me on, but you know, you just follow me on Twitter, now go follow me on Facebook kind of thing?
I think you've got to have a healthy balance, Lucy. One thing you don't want to constantly be doing is directing people to other platforms you need to, if you are that, you need to give them a reason. You need to give them, like, for example, we do it in the sense that we share little tasters of our blogs on social, and then we direct them to social because they've got interactive elements, they've got extra guides, resources and stuff like that. but you need to have a healthy balance.
Yeah.
I'd say you want to edge more towards native content, because social platforms like Facebook, they want to give you more, their algorithm edged more towards native content because they don't want you leaving the platform. So one little thing that we've learned, like in the last 3 months, is that native video performs way better than any other piece of content on any form of social media. So now every week we create videos, native videos, and we put them on social because they perform so much better. So that's just one thing that we've learned. Forgotten how you started, but hey, let's say hello to people. Michaela, repurpose where you can. Yes.
She's amazing.
Who else is here? I can't see who's here.
We've got Anwin Cooper. Hey, Anwin.
Anwin. I love Anwin. She's so cool. Fruitful marketing.
Michaela says, I do it from Periscope to Twitter. What does that mean? Is that like Twitter? Because you've got Twitter Live, which is Periscope?
Yeah, because there's Twitter Live now, and then there's Periscope, isn't there? But they're still connected. It's just a weird thing. Like, it's just tuned in. You guys are my social gurus. Oh, Anwin, you're so lovely.
You're lovely, Anwin. You're amazing. You all are.
Yeah, one more thing I want to say, Lucy. One more thing I want to say. It's just been on my mind, right?
Okay.
So, one thing, you were mentioning, like, do you use Facebook Stories? Do you use Snapchat? There's all these different platforms. Which ones do you use? Do you use the same content across all of them? One thing you can think about is, what audiences do you have on each of these platforms? Because one thing that happens is different types of people go on different platforms. So you can actually think about, these are different target markets. These are different groups of people. So you can actually use it to your advantage and create different styles of content. So for example, say one part of your target market was younger people who are interested in cool creative stuff. You could use really cool creative elements on Snapchat and be a bit more fun, a bit more tongue-in-cheek, and use it in that sense. Whereas on Facebook, part of your target market is families and mums who don't want to hear anything tongue-in-cheek. They want to be, still fun and friendly, but family-friendly. You can tailor your content towards that. So I think small businesses need to focus on tailoring their content to each of these platforms. Key, yes, major key. Charlie is correct. Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to Social Day, by the way, Lucy. It's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to hear your talk. So, yeah, like LinkedIn, people really, really go mad if anybody swears on LinkedIn.
I know, that's a big thing, isn't it?
They go crazy, don't they? And I love that woman who wrote the blog with all the swearing and everything in it, the post with all the swearing in it.
I saw that, yeah.
People got so upset about it, didn't they? Whereas if you did something like that on Facebook, everyone's like, nah, I don't really care. It's so different, isn't it? The sort of content you should produce, really, and your language as well, like the language that you're speaking. Exactly. It's such a professional network on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn's still a great network. I mean, it's boring sometimes, but it's
I do like it, but it's not as fun. You're right. But
it's not fun. But it's serious. It's about business, and that's what it's there for. And actually, maybe you should take a different tone with people then, because the type of clients that you could potentially get from that network.
Do you know what? Turning on its head though, Lucy, even though I've just said that, I find it really difficult because I like to just be myself. Like, I'm like this, like I'm being now. And this is me. This is just me. So to have to try and be more professional on LinkedIn, it kind of just annoys me because I just want to be like this. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But it's something which I guess we have to do. We don't have to do. There's some people that are just...
work, then? How does that work? So we were just saying, weren't we, that you have to
be authentic to you.
And be yourself everywhere, so that when people meet you, they're like, yeah, that's what I was expecting. But then on LinkedIn, you're like, sure. Okay,
put it this way then, right? Put it this way, Lucy, right? Everyone in the world behaves differently when they're in different groups of people, right? The way, as me, right? The way I behave with my parents is like this, right? The way I behave when I'm with my laddie mates, I'm probably a bit more like, do you know what I mean? Like a bit more, like when you're with your girl mates, you're probably like, oh, girl mates, ooh. And when you're with Stuart, you're just like you. Do you know what I mean? You have like an advanced, different version of yourself slightly with the crowd you're with. So I guess if we think of social media like that, you can still be authentic, still be yourself, but just just the way you are. Cass, I know we're going to get on, Cass. I can just tell by your comments, mate.
You know what? You are going to both get on because you're both like really amazing people. Like genuinely, you're really going to get get on with each other.
Oh, Charlie, I love that Charlie uses Facebook like a LinkedIn. I haven't heard many people say that. Maybe I'm just unique in that sense, but do you know many people that use Facebook for like their personal profiles for business, Lucy? Have you heard many people?
Yeah.
Or?
Actually, so on LinkedIn, you can see where you rank on LinkedIn amongst all of your connections. A lot of my connections are people within social media, which is crazy because, you know, I was, you know, running a agency sort of thing. You think connected to SMEs, but actually because it's like people who are social media managers and that kind of thing that want to so I can see where I rank. But well, actually, the top ranking person or the top ranking person that I'm connected to is a woman in the US, and she's very, very much like somebody who would post these kind of, you know, inspirational quotes, that kind of thing that you would see on Facebook and talk about the things you would see on Facebook. So I think somebody had complained about it once, what she said, because, you know, people are quite stuffy, I find, sometimes. And she's like, well, this works for me, so why would I change it? You know, and you're not my perfect client anyway. I'm not interested in you. So, I guess if you act like yourself and whoever you are, you're going to kind of attract the people.
But like
you, aren't
on
you?
that note, though, I agree. I do really agree. As a main thing, you need to be attracting clients. But I think like you're pretty much a competitor to me, but we're not like against each other. Do you know what I mean? You're not a potential client for me ever. I'm never going to train you. You know just as much, if not more, than me. So I think it's about understanding like where your ideal clients are, but also where are people in your industry or who you can collaborate with, where are influential people or influencers who you can build relationships with and help each other out, where are like younger people or like people who are earlier on in their business career that you can actually help and not expect anything in return. Like Cass said, actually help them and give them advice where you're not expecting them to suddenly become a client. Do you know, there's like different like elements of people that we should all be trying to build a community and network with.
So you're basically saying, aren't you, that actually everybody is almost some sort of a micro influencer or an influencer in their own right, because there'll be people, for example, Kaz, you know, Kaz has got a great influence in Birmingham, and Kaz has an amazing agency in Birmingham, but he's actually works with clients globally. I you know, for Social Day, we want him to let people know about Social Day. He's a media partner, an amazing businessman and everything like that. So he's an influencer, isn't he? And so he might not have 1 million followers yet, but he's an influencer.
Exactly. That's why I think everyone should get out of this whole, if someone's influential, let's treat them differently, or just there could be like a person who no one knows, go and be their friend, go and help them, rather than just thinking, who's got the most like influence here? Let's go and try and build a relationship with them. Do you know what I mean, Lucy? Yes, Dad. Just want to give my dad a big shout out. This guy has been an inspiration to me. He's downstairs, I think. So thanks, Dad.
Hi.
Dad loves a bit of LinkedIn. He's into manufacturing. So
that's your dad.
That's his vibe.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, he's lovely. I love him.
That's really nice. Your clients are on Facebook. Document, network, and give value. That's really good advice, isn't it?
But Charlie, one little conflict to that, my clients aren't on Facebook. I don't feel like my clients are on Facebook. To be honest, I haven't like dissected my audience, but I feel like most of my connections are friends, family, that kind of thing. So Charlie, a question to you, do you still think that I should be using like Facebook stories and documenting all my stuff? Are
you like a major influencer on Twitter, aren't you?
Well, yeah. I think in the influencer space, right, this is me saying this as someone who's been named as a top influencer or whatever, there is a lot of smoke and mirrors. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors for across this whole, I did that video about fake influencers and things.
Oh yeah.
I think there's a, you know who really truly influential. I'm not like really truly influential. I don't think I am to a degree. I think someone like Chris Ducker, right? Chris Ducker, that guy has built a hugely successful business with like 400 staff, and that kind of person, I feel like, for me, looking up to them, they're really truly influential because they've like had so much success and they've gone through so much. And I don't know. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors, Lucy. There's lots of influencers. You know, I named myself an influencer because I was ranked as one, and that, you know, I milked the hell out of it. Of course, I'm going to milk the hell out of it.
Got to, haven't you?
But I think people need to really. The wall is being pulled over so many people's eyes. They just need to understand that. Really, I think.
So, what is it like? What makes an influencer then? Because that's what Craig was asking a little bit back. I didn't put it up because you were talking about your 8 tips to social media success.
Yeah, sorry, I blabbed on a bit. Yeah, that was a really good question, actually.
No, it was really, really good. What you were saying, you wasn't going on at all. It's really, really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm trying to find the question so I can put it up on the screen, basically.
I remember seeing that briefly, actually.
Yeah.
And I read an article earlier by a guy called Jason Quay, I think it is, and it was how to find powerful influencers to win your audience. And I've read about this before. There's different ways you can measure the influence of someone. I've actually got it here. And he says, and I've heard this before, reach, relevance, and reaction. So reach is how many people are they actually going to reach? How many people are they going to be able to get to? So this is a lot to do with audience size and that kind of thing. Second thing is relevance. So say like I've got a big influence over marketers, but I want to try and sell like a football. It's not going to work because they're not relevant at all. So relevance is really important. And reaction, how many people are actually going to take action when you tell them about like your product or someone else's product or service? They're kind of the 3 metrics. And I remember Harry Hugo from the Go agency, they've got some really clever ways of measuring the true influence of influencers. So when it gets to Social Day London, I'm going to be like picking his brains because I'm really interested to hear about that kind of side of things.
Oh, we just added someone else to the panel. I'm sorry. Like he's too amazing.
Who did you add?
Philip Brown from Come Round.
No, who's that?
He's a head of influencer at Come Round, and we thought he could be the panel.
Oh, like the MC. Yeah,
the panel MC, and ask some questions because he can ask difficult questions as well. If you connect with him on LinkedIn,
what's his name?
Philip Brown, and Stuart did an interview with him recently, actually, on the
Unplugged. Oh,
yeah,
the
podcast, yeah. And then I think we was like, hold on a minute, why is he not on the panel? Because he's really good, and he writes some really good content for some of the big publications and things like that. And he really kind of, you know, goes into influencer marketing and talks about things like, you know, making sure that people are not just throwing money at influencers for influencer advertising and things like that. They're actually making sure they're influencers and actually trying to take existing customers out of a company, and because they already are interested in the product, so they'd be really excited to promote the brand, for example, already, and they've already got some. So every customer,
everyone's got an influence. Everyone does have an influence. I get that. But I like just to answer Anwin's question that you've got up there. This is relevant to what we were saying, Lucy. Yes. Anwin says, I would say an influencer can be measured by quantifying their reach, how big is their list of followers, email subscribers, etc. Anwin, I think that's one like key in the chain in the whatever you want to say. It's one pillar of what you need to be doing, because to be honest, Anwin, I could go out there and buy 100,000 Facebook followers. Like, you know, you can buy followers, you can buy audience. So reach is only so powerful. The other 2 metrics that I mentioned, relevance. So how relevant are they to your audience? And reaction. This is the key one, I think. Reaction. How many of those people will actually take action? Like, one example that I think is she's got such a good community is Virginia Costello, or Ginny Can Breathe, right? Yeah. She's if you look at her community, she's got people like want to help her so much. They want to, anything that she writes up and says, can someone help me with this? That she has so many comments saying, I'll do that. Yeah, that's the kind of person where you can look at her and think, she's got an audience who are actually going to react and take action. When she says to them, go and do this, go and do that, I think they'll actually do it, because you can see from her engagement that people really want to help her. And there's loads of other examples. There's loads of other people, like bigger people like Gary V or Shunduras. Shunduras have you heard of Shunduras?
Yeah.
He's like a Snapchat influencer guy. He's big on YouTube now. He's got such an engaged community of people that actually take action when he says to do stuff. It's just such a great example.
The secret, so what's the secret formula? Do you think that? Why are these people? Why are people just like, if these influencers say, jump, they say, how hard? Like, why? How do they, is it something is there something special about them? Are they doing something differently? Are they becoming famous like somebody on the TV, for example, where you just like get all fangirl around them and stuff? Like, what is it?
I think, in my opinion, first of all, they've got to have some kind of talent in some kind of area. They've got to be doing something that people look at and actually think, I want to be like that. I want to look at that. I want to watch that. Like some examples, say like Shonduras, right? The guy who I mentioned, he started out on Snapchat doing Snapchat art. He was incredibly good at Snapchat art. No one was really doing it. And he created some really cool, engaging stuff. He did like lots of user engagement. So he'd get people to send in their art and he'd engage with them a lot. So he had a real skill for that. Other people like, I know everyone mentions him, but he's such a great guy, Gary Vee, right? Yeah. If you look at him, he's got such a big influence because he has built a hugely successful business. His skill is building businesses, right? So many people look up to him because he's done such a great job of that. So firstly, they need to have some kind of skill. Secondly, they need to be building relationships. Like, if you're really good at something, but you don't speak to anyone and you never engage with people, you're not going to become truly, truly influential. So I think that's another key thing that people need to do, actually build relationships. Okay. What else do you think, Lucy?
Well, Cass is saying, what's more important, influence or profit?
Profit, always. Profit. Jeez, like this is the one thing that people get tied up in, Cass, which we see a lot, is what metrics can we measure? Like we do monthly reports for our clients. We send them traffic reports. We send them engagement reports, all of that kind of crap. None of it matters apart from profit. At the end of the day, if you're not making profit, you could have 100,000 engaged fans and subscribers who love all your stuff. If you're not making any money, I mean, this is if you're not a charity. If you're a business and you're not making any money or profit, then it's pointless, isn't it, Lucy? Like, it's pointless. I think it's pointless.
Well, then that's the big question, isn't it, about social media? That's still the big question, that as a social media manager or somebody who runs an agency, from the SME side of things, that is the question you're going to get asked. Because for the bigger brands, they've got the money, they love the reach. That's what they want. They just want eyeballs, brand everywhere. For SME, or for a micro business or really tiny businesses, they don't have the cash, do they, to get that reach, right? They don't even have the cash, a lot of them, to actually hire a social media manager if you're on a smaller scale, okay? So the question they're going to ask is, well, how can you prove that I'm making money from social media? Or what are you going to do as a social media manager or a social media company to actually get me sales? Because that's what I care about. Are you then having to do other things like putting these pipelines in place, making sure the website's right and that kind of thing as well? It's more, isn't it, than just this is social media, there's your sales kind of thing.
Exactly right, Lucy. Right. Social media is just at the top of the sales funnel. It's just the thing that drives a lot of awareness and builds relationships, and it goes slightly further down when it gets to engagement and building relationships. But social media is at the top of the funnel, right? There's so many other elements that you need to take into account to ensure you've got a structured sales funnel. One thing we use, which small businesses, this is free. One thing, you need to know. Don't know what my dad said there. One thing, sorry, let me carry on. One thing.
SMEs need to be their own.
Below their own. Dad, you haven't made sense. Try again. Right. One thing that we use, which is really, really great in terms of measuring your sales funnel, is HubSpot. HubSpot, it's got a free version which we use. We've never paid for it, and it's so good for small businesses. You can develop your own custom sales funnel, which has different stages, right? And then you can track.
It's amazing, and you can see like how many times they've opened the email or clicked the link and that kind of thing. So you can really, it's amazing.
What did my dad say? SMEs need to develop their own specialists. That's Dad. I still don't know what we're going on about. But yeah, HubSpot's such a good one. HubSpot's such a good tool to use. I'd advise anyone watching this, any small business, go and check it out. There's tons of tutorials. We taught ourselves. But you can look online, there's video tutorials, and you need to develop to answer your question, Lucy, you need to develop a structured sales funnel, right? You need to develop steps that people go through to go from not knowing you at all to being an advocate of your business. So you need to have a structured method. Social media is one cog in the pipeline. It's one chain in the whatever you want to call it, right? There's lots of other elements you need to do. What are you going to do once they've shown interest? What's your process to follow them up? What did my brother say?
Yes, Dad, I'll get you some nice crayons.
Oh God, he's funny.
Right, so okay, here's my question then.
Sorry, my dad wants to make an appearance.
Okay.
Sorry, sorry, I was just to say SMEs need to develop their own specialists. I think that's the key.
What do you mean?
Well, they need to develop their own digital marketing specialists. So rather than rely totally on external people, the ideal situation is if they can get their own experts inside the company.
In-house, yeah. Okay, I get that now. Cheers, Dad.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's it. If they can't afford to pay someone, then they should learn themselves, shouldn't they? They should get qualified. They should, take courses.
That's what we push a lot of businesses to actually move from us managing all their stuff to actually us training them in-house to manage it in-house, because it's usually better for them. If there's someone in-house who's in the business and they can get the skills and knowledge and expertise over time to do it in-house, it's better.
Yeah, because they know the company better than anyone as well, so they'll be able to. And you can be much more reactive within a company than say, oh, Dan, by the way, we've just done this a couple of hours ago. Can you please go and share that on my social media? When they could have instantly done it themselves, saved a lot of money and time, and it would have been way more authentic anyway. And
especially, Lucy, right? Especially with the whole storytelling platforms coming out. Yeah. How difficult would it be for an agency to develop your stories like in-house? It's just wouldn't really work effectively. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's much more difficult. Right, then that brings me to one more point, I think, that I want to ask you that I'm sure other people want to know as well. Oh, and then we'll answer the questions if that's okay. And then we'll move on to finding out more about you and how people can find you.
Okay, sure.
So all of this stuff is going to work really well, right? If you run a service-based company and you are wanting to get clients and things like that and build relationships. So what if you just have a online shop that you've just started up, or you've got an online business and you sell products and you just want 1 million people, of the right people, to see your products so they will just buy as many of your products as possible? Is it still then necessary to do this speaking, influence and that kind of thing? Or does it work differently?
So I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example of, we actually worked with a kitchenware company that produces lots of kitchenware gadgets. So like whisks and things, and they're the exact same example as what you're saying. They're a company who, they don't want to be speaking and things like that. They're selling products online. They want to increase their sales.
So it's a brand, isn't it?
It's a brand, yeah. It's selling products. So we created kind of a different kind of sales funnel where we created content. We created videos showing their products in action, creating cool recipes. One of the videos we did got like 7 million views and on Facebook, and we made it their top selling product every single month. We're working with them. And this is because we created content we knew their audience were interested in. We targeted it really effectively with Facebook ads. So let me give you an example. One of the recipes we did was with this slicer, right? And it was how to make McDonald's French fries. So it had like a cool slicer on it. You got a potato. It sliced them exactly the same kind of size as McDonald's French fries, and you cook them in a cool way. And we did a video. We targeted that video towards people who were interested in McDonald's, people who were interested in recipes, people who were interested in cooking. So they had to be interested in all of these things. So we literally fine-tuned it so much that it was the exact type of person that we know would want to buy that product, and it worked. It worked. They sold loads of these products. So you need to understand how to create a different kind of funnel for a different business. Okay. So it's not speaking and writing and it can be though. It's influencing in a different way, isn't it? Because what you're doing is you're still providing value. Is that right? Yeah. But you're not having to sit up there and talk yourself about it. You're still building your influence though. Like we built their influence as a video recipe publication. So we built them as an influential place where people wanted to go and hang out and read their recipes and try their recipes, right? So that's how you need to think of it, Lucy. How do you want to build your influence up, and what do you want to be known for? That's amazing. Where can we see this case study? Because I think that sounds like a really amazing case study. On our website. go on to our clients' case studies, and it's on there. You'll find it there. kpsdigitalmarketing.co.uk/our clients, and it'll be there. You can read it all.
Our clients. I'm going to share that actually later for everybody to see. So I think that sounds like a really, really good case study that other people can kind of take on board and learn from as well.
We've also got another one more, Lucy. We've got another case study. Sorry. Well, like people say, oh, that's all fun and well because it's a good, interesting product. People like those products. We're also working with a paint manufacturer, so they've got the most boring product ever, but we've had some really great results doing a similar thing with them. So just check that out, people, so you can see it with a boring kind of business, not so much of a fun recipe style business. Okay, so actually you're also saying then that video is key. Video is so key. Like, native video, Lucy, native video. It gets the best results. Do you know what? This has been so amazing, Dan. I think people listening to this now or even after are going to get so much value from this because the information that you've given away is enough for somebody to go away and actually create a campaign based on what you said, or to actually start becoming an influencer in their own right by taking on board what you've talked about. And of course at Social Day you're going to go into this in more detail. Much more detail. Like for each tactic I'm talking through, I'm going to be saying step 1 do this, step 2 do that, so people can actually write like the different steps that they can take. We've kind of gone over it in a bit of a blur today. Sorry? We've kind of gone over it like quite quickly today, but in Social Day it's going to be step. It's going to be amazing. And of course, if people that are going to be at Social Day will be able to grab Dan, not literally like grab him, because that's have a beer together. That's it. Yeah. So you can talk to Dan and you can ask him questions and you can pick his brains. And actually, his brother Lloyd's going to be there as well, and he's actually real talent in the business. You know, Dan's just front of house guy, and Lloyd does everything really. He is. He does. He literally does. So Stuart's the same as you then, Lucy. Sorry, Stuart's actually the brains behind Social Day. You just the front face. Yeah, we're just the front faces, you know. Anyway, Edwin Ladd says they should come along to Social Day and learn all the amazing tips and tricks. Totally true. Agencies, though, give you creativity. You can offer an insight from the outside. There's always room for agencies. We're an agency, so I'm not dissing agencies. If you're very small and you can't afford to pay someone on the outside, or you just perhaps it's a good idea to pay someone consultancy once a month to come in and give and help your team. Exactly. Agree. That's where an agency can come in again, like Dan and Lloyd and yourself. And Charlie D, content will always win. Yes, it does. Content does always win. Content always wins as long as it's not rubbish. Great point. What do you want to be known for? I think that is a big point, Lucy. Like, people watching this, what do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known as the most amazing radio presenter that looks like George Michael's, like Marcus, or do you want to be known for being like the big like building construction person that everyone comes to for building construction, or you know what I mean? It's hard looking this good, Cass says. He's how you feel. Yeah, you know. Manufacturing paint is not boring. Thanks, Dad. Charlie says yes, and Cass says Marcus, yes. George Michaels. And George Michaels says yes. Who's George? No, I'm saying Marcus looks like George Michaels. Oh, does he? Oh. Well, like a more Greek version. That's a compliment. Okay, so I think that's enough. What do you think, Dan? I mean, we could probably go on forever. No, I think we should save it for Social Day. Let's save it for Social Day. So if you want the rest of the information, you can go to Social Day and speak to Dan there, because he's not answering any questions on Snapchat or Facebook or anything. No, I'm just joking. I'm staying quiet now unless you come to Social Day. Speak to you until Social Day, so make sure that you come along. Can I just say one thing about Social Day, right? And this isn't me. Like, how many times I've been now? I think I've been for the last 2 years, various different locations. We just basically want you at every event because you're amazing. It's so much fun. My favourite part is the social element of just meeting people and afterwards actually going out and stuff, and it's just such a good event. And even live events as a whole, people should be going. That's what I wanted to start doing more of, especially Social Day. I totally agree. Thank you for saying that, Dan. I really appreciate you saying that. Right, you told me to say it.
All right. You're not supposed to tell everyone.
I'm joking.
You're not supposed to tell everyone I told you to say. Right. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for sharing. Sounds like you have a great lineup planned for Social Day.
Come, Alan. You should come to Social Day.
Well, you should come to London. Like everybody who's...
London's closer, yeah. London's closer.
You guys need to be coming to London because it is going to be the #1 social media event of the year for people who do social media marketing.
The speaker lineup is insane, Lucy. Like, you've upped your game this year. Seriously, like, speakers are just getting better and better. People should really look at the speaker lineup because, like, Chris Ducker, the guy from Twitter. Yeah,
the head of Twitter, EME. He's the one he came from YouTube, didn't he? And then he's developed the video strategy in Twitter, like the Periscope and stuff. Like, so is it possible that all of that wouldn't have been there? It wouldn't have been the same as it is without this guy, you know? Like, he's the #1 digital person in the whole of London, isn't it?
And Andrew and Pete. I literally love Andrew and Pete. They're so cool. They're going to be amazing.
They're so funny. They're kind of like a northern Dan and Lloyd.
We're going to have an Andrew and Pete and Dan and Lloyd off, by the way, at Social Day. Not quite sure how it's going to work yet, but it's going to be fun.
That would be really fun. Do it at both as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Who else is going to be there? Well, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is that we know that Dan Knowlton is going to be there, and he is.
Victoria Taylor, she's a legend.
Who?
Victoria Taylor.
Oh, Victoria Taylor. Yeah, obviously she's. Yeah, Victoria. She's going to be at both, talking about customer experience and
yes, like, Julia.
Yes, Julia. She's going to be talking about.
There's just so many legends going.
There is so many legends. So I hope all of you can just make it, and if you can't, gutted.
Then it's going to be fun.
It's going to be great fun. Okay, so Dan, now where can people go if they want to find you?
Right, is this where I can do a sales pitch?
You can.
I'm joking. I've got this course that you can buy for $9.95. No, I'm joking.
Download my free ebook.
Just go to our website and all of our social media on there. We write a weekly blog and just say hello. Our website is kpsdigitalmarketing.co.uk. Just find me on social media, say hello. If you watch this, comment and say hello, and just, yeah, that's about it, Luce.
Thanks so much, Dan. So everybody, thank you very much for watching. We'll either see you next Thursday at Social Day in Birmingham, so that's the 27th, or we'll see you on the 16th of June, or we will see you on social media. And if you've got any questions, please type them. We'll reply to them later, or go into the group, which is, so if you just type in Social Day into Facebook, you will find the Facebook group and you can join. And there's lots of content and information and helpful stuff there as well. Thank you very much, Daniel Knowlton.
This has been so much fun. This has been fun.
It's been amazing. Thank you. I'm going to now end the broadcast, and we will see you guys all soon. Thank you so much.
Bye.